It was an early morning when I decided to enjoy the tranquility of my lakeside cabin. The cool breeze was sweeping across the water, the trees swaying gently, and the birds were singing a peaceful retreat that I had worked hard to create. But peace was the last thing I would get that day. Out of nowhere, I heard a car pull up in the driveway. I peeked through the window to see none other than Karen, the overbearing HOA president, marching up to my door with a determined stride. Her expression was as smug as ever, and I could tell she was already planning to ruin my morning. Without even a knock, she barged in and began demanding that I vacate the cabin immediately. "This property isn't up to code. You need to leave right now," she ordered. I was taken aback by her audacity. I calmly responded, "Karen, this is my private property. I'm not going anywhere." But she didn't like my response. She insisted that I was violating some rules she had made up, threatening fines, and worse if I didn't comply. Frustration mounted, and Karen's tone turned more aggressive. "You need to leave, or I'll call the cops," she spat. I remained seated, sipping my coffee, completely unfazed. But she didn't stop there. Karen whipped out her phone and dialed 911, making an exaggerated scene about my refusal to comply with her demands. She made it sound as though I was some kind of criminal standing my ground in my own home. Within minutes, the police arrived, clearly puzzled by the call. Karen rushed over to meet them, explaining how I was refusing to leave my property. The officers listened politely, but I could tell they weren't buying it. They turned to me for clarification. I simply smiled and said, "Officers, I don't think you understand the situation. I own not just this cabin, but the entire city." The look on Karen's face was priceless as she realized the magnitude of the situation. I wasn't just a simple homeowner. I was the owner of the land, the lake, the cabins, and the surrounding area. The officers nodded, and after a brief conversation with their superiors, they informed Karen that she had made a mistake. "Ma'am, it seems you were mistaken about the property lines," one officer said, trying to stifle a grin. Karen, humiliated and defeated, could only manage a sputtered excuse before she turned and left, leaving me to enjoy the rest of my peaceful day. The irony wasn't lost on me. Karen, the self-proclaimed queen of the HOA, had called the cops on me, only to find out that I owned everything she tried to control.